Hello and welcome to another Blast Process unboxing video. Today we've got something that I picked up from Home and Bargain and thought I'd share it with you today in this video because it's gaming related and it's kind of cool and it was kind of cheap as well. So this is the, what's it called, the Pokémon Z Power Ring, or Z Power depending if you're from the UK or America. And this was rather cool. It's $3.99 it's cost me. And this is a accessory that interacts with Pokemon Sun and Moon. Or actually this particular box is advertised as working with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So this was a tie-in for that game. So it's not a particularly old product at all, but heavily discounted. So that's the packaging there. You see it's branded with Mimikyu. That's because you get a Mimikyu figure with it. Yeah, and you can see some examples on the back of what you might do with this thing. So for those unfamiliar with what a Z ring is, well, it's a device you actually use in the game to do sort of ultra moves, or Z moves, Z moves, or whatever you want to call them. So the character in game wears this on their wrist and they do certain motions which, you know, cue the Pokemon to do certain moves. So what you've got here is just that. Let's take it out here and show you what you get. So here we are, there's the contents, and we're just going to try and get this out in a reasonable way. Oh wow, that was exhausting. So this is the actual device itself. So you're going to wear this around your wrist. It's reasonably light. I'm assuming it snaps open quite easy. You just pull it to release. And you notice it's got all these little holders in the sides where you can sort of clip things in. You can use these to clip in other Z crystals. You actually get one other one in the package. So there's one there already, which I think is an electric one, or it is maybe even only for Mimikyu, and this one is, I think, for a Lycanroc. Lycanium Z. So I think this is just for Lycanroc. So these, yeah, it's been a while since I played Sun and Moon, but I think each Z crystal actually just works with one particular Pokemon. So you can put this extra one in the side, I think. We'll try and do that. Yeah, it just takes a little bit of you know, elbow grease to get that in there. So this takes two AAA batteries. It's got a funny little light on the side there, which I guess is the light up feature of it. Now I don't have a clue how this thing is going to interact with the game. Because again, in the packaging there isn't a lot of details about that. But if I take my watch off and put it on my wrist, there's also a little strap inside here. So you put your wrist in there. Now this is made for a child, so the chance of it getting around my wrist was slim, but it actually does. It does actually fit my wrist. So if you've got thin wrists, then this just might work for you. Not sure if that's upside down. Let's consult the packaging. Yeah, it's upside down. Let's redo that. So it's quite comfortable. It's not too bad. There we go. So you do it with this little pointy thing facing outwards. Now, before we move on, I'll just point out you do get a Mimikyu figure in here. It's a small figure, but quite a nice figure, I think. So you do get that, which is a nice little extra. So what I'm wondering now is, do you need the appropriate Pokemon, such as Mimikyu, in order for this thing to work? So I'm going to get on my 3DS and find out how these two things interact. So I'm actually in the game now, and I'm wearing my special Z move thingamajiggy, and I think what I'm going to try and do is use the Z power on the game there to see if it does anything to this. Now this isn't the same Z power, because I don't actually have in game the ones that come with this yellow one or this brown one. I'm actually going to use Rockium or something. Oh, it's doing it. Okay, so it vibrated when I selected the option to do a Z move. So if I do Continental Crush, so I don't know if you saw, I held my arm out. It's vibrating as I do this. Continental Crush! So yeah, it lit up and it vibrated a bit. So I've just pulled out the other one. I'm going to place that in, see if it does anything different. So really with these things, you do just jam them in. There is a right and wrong way of putting that in. You can get it turned. Oh, I touched it and it's flashing. We're going to try it again. We're going to try using our Z power. Difficult to show you this, but in the game, yeah. So I'm going to show you this, and what it's actually doing as we battle. So we're going to try Z Stealth Rock instead. So it flashes, and then I unleash my move, and because this move hasn't actually activated yet, we won't see it. So what happened then was, after the battle, and my Lycanroc, who I use this Z, what's it called? Z powering with, it actually vibrated, and I think it sounded like it sort of made the noise of the Pokemon. We're going to try again, see what happens. So here we are, Z power in the game, or Z power. Lights up, we'll choose Continental Crush. We do the action. We get a sound effect. Light up. And we unleash the move. Lights up all kind of different colours. Critical hit, he's fainted. So having now tested the Z-Ring accessory, I can tell you it doesn't seem to matter what colour crystal you have in there. You don't really need to have the one that corresponds to the Z move using in the game, or the Pokemon it's connected to. So don't worry about that. And as far as I can tell, it doesn't really seem to matter. The instructions don't give you any more instructions other than how to operate it, which basically is a switch on the side. You switch it to one side to have it interact with the 3DS, and what happens then is when you do a Z move in the game, this vibrates and lights up. That's about it. Now also there's a roleplay mode. If you switch it to the other side, it's got a 2 symbol. Now it's in roleplay mode, meaning if you do the appropriate actions, I think, as illustrated in the instructions, then it should do something. So if I move my arm now, it does something if I press the button on the top. It's meant to be motion activated. So when you perform the Z move, it's meant to do something. Now you don't actually have to perform the move for it to do anything in the game. You just do the move and it does the stuff. But it's meant to be, there you go. You've got to give it a bit of a flick. And the thing on the bottom, I don't know what that's meant to be doing. Hui! it does things. So Z powering actually reacts when new Z crystals are acquired. So what's happening now, I've realised it is interacting purely with the sound of the game. So when you do a certain thing, it can sense the sound, presumably with this sensor here. Pick up a new Z crystal in game, do a Z move, this thing knows what you're doing and will interact accordingly. Otherwise, if you're just playing around with it, it's a bit of fun, it does things. So you can wear it as just a toy and pretend you're doing the Z moves, I think, or you can have it interact with the sound on the 3DS and get it to sort of do the right thing for whatever action you're doing in game. So that's kind of cool. That is not something I think anyone needs to rush out and buy unless they're a really young Pokemon fan who is very much, it does also snap open on my wrist quite a lot, but I say quite a lot, occasionally. So once you turn it off, the roleplay mode, it still makes noises when you wave it around. Stick it back into the middle point and it sort of turns itself off. So I'll get this off my wrist now. It powers into sleep mode after 1 hour of activity, otherwise it will interact with things. There's an on and off button inside as well, so I can turn it off just like that. But it's not something that seems to take a lot of batteries. A little speaker also on the inside of the wristband. Light up wrist bracelet thingy, great Pokemon cosplay item as well if you want to do that. Pokemon cosplay. You get your fun little Mimikyu figure or that and your extra crystal there for $3.99 from Home Bargain. Pretty good, worth it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below and tell me if I missed anything as well, because this is quite a weird little device that I think I need to do a little bit more research on. But thanks very much for watching the video, and we'll see you again very soon for another unboxing video. Bye for now.